You might think your struggle to sleep is just part of getting older. That waking up at 3 a.m. and staring at the ceiling for hours is something you just have to live with. But here's the thing no one tells you. Those restless nights aren't normal. And worse, they could be quietly affecting your memory, your heart, even how long you live. Because sleep after 60? It's not a luxury. It's a biological necessity. And the way most people treat their nights, grabbing late cups of coffee, falling asleep in front of the TV, or taking naps too late in the day, might be the very habits sabotaging your brain from the inside out. The good news is, there are a few simple shifts that could completely change the way you sleep, backed by solid research and already helping thousands of older adults feel sharper, calmer, and more energized in the morning. Today you're going to learn what science says you should be doing, and what to stop doing, if you want to sleep well after 60. No gimmicks. No pills. Just facts, daily habits, and real-life logic that actually work for someone your age. But before we get into that, let me ask you, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? And how rested did you really feel when you woke up? Let me know in the comments, because I want to hear what your routine looks like. And I might use some of your answers in future videos, especially if you're struggling with something that many others might relate to. Now, let's talk about the first thing most people don't realize about sleep in their 60s and beyond. It's not about needing less sleep. That's a myth. Your body still needs around 7 to 8 hours of solid sleep every night. What changes is how your body produces the hormones that make sleep feel natural. Your internal clock, called your circadian rhythm, starts to shift earlier. That means your body may start getting sleepy at 8 p.m. instead of 10, and wake you up at 4 instead of 6. That's not because you're broken, it's just biology. But the mistake most people make? They don't adjust their daily routines around this shift. So if you're trying to push your bedtime later, forcing yourself to stay up watching TV or scrolling your phone, you're actually going against your natural sleep signals. And the result is light, fragmented sleep that leaves you groggy in the morning and irritable during the day. That brings us to your first must-do: keep a consistent sleep schedule. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. You might think, well, I'm retired now, I can sleep in if I want. But your brain doesn't care what day of the week it is. It craves rhythm. Stanford researchers found that older adults with irregular sleep patterns had significantly more trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, even if they technically got the same amount of total sleep over a week. The lack of rhythm confused their biological clock, leaving them in a constant state of jet lag. Here's how you fix it. Pick a bedtime that actually works with your body. Maybe that's 9:30 p.m., and stick to it. Set an alarm not just to wake up but also to wind down. Create a small routine. Dim the lights, read a book, maybe stretch a little. That signals your body that it's time to prepare for sleep, not fight it. Now let's talk about what happens during the day. Because your daytime habits are actually shaping your night. One of the biggest mistakes older adults make is taking long naps, especially in the late afternoon. Now, naps aren't evil. Short naps of about 20 minutes can actually boost alertness and mood. But if you nap too long, or too close to dinner, it's like having a small sleep snack that spoils your appetite for the real thing. Think of your sleep drive like hunger. If you nibble too much before dinner, you're not going to feel like eating the full meal. Same goes for sleep. A nap at 5 p.m. might rob you of the pressure you need to fall asleep at 9. That's why sleep experts at the University of Chicago recommend either skipping naps altogether, or limiting them to 20 minutes, before 3 p.m. Next up, something people often ignore: your exposure to light. This one's huge. Because light is the anchor for your circadian rhythm. But after 60, your eyes become less sensitive to light. That means you need more natural daylight exposure than when you were younger to keep your sleep clock ticking on time. So if you're spending your mornings indoors with the curtains drawn, your body might not even realize it's daytime. It's like trying to run a race without a starting gun. Solution: get outside in the morning. Even 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight between 8 and 10 a.m. can help reset your internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night and wake up refreshed. If going outside isn't possible, try sitting near a bright window. Some older adults even use light therapy lamps, especially in winter. Now let's deal with one of the most common habits that quietly wrecks sleep after 60: caffeine. You might think one afternoon coffee doesn't hurt, but your liver processes caffeine more slowly as you age. What that means is that a 3 p.m. cup of coffee could still be in your bloodstream at 11 p.m., making your body feel alert when it should be winding down. Think of caffeine like a sponge. When you're younger, you wring it out fast. After 60, it takes longer to dry. So that same drink hits differently now. The National Sleep Foundation suggests avoiding caffeine at least 6 to 8 hours before bedtime, but for many older adults, cutting it off by noon is even better. That includes tea, sodas, and even chocolate. Yes, chocolate has caffeine too, especially dark chocolate. And if you think you need that coffee to stay awake during the day, that might be a red flag that your sleep quality isn't as good as you think. So far, we've talked about some of the daytime patterns that can either support or sabotage your sleep. But let's turn the spotlight on your bedroom. Because the truth is, your bedroom might be working against you, without you even realizing it. Temperature is a big one. As you age, your body's ability to regulate temperature declines. If your room is too warm, you're likely to toss and turn, wake up sweating, or just stay in a shallow sleep stage all night. The ideal sleep temperature? Between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That might sound chilly, but there's a reason. Your body naturally drops its internal temperature as it prepares for sleep. A cooler room helps that process happen smoothly. Think of it like setting the thermostat for your brain. And it's not just the air. Your mattress, sheets, even pajamas play a role. Choose breathable materials like cotton, and avoid heavy blankets that trap heat. Now, let's address the light and sound. Even small lights, from digital clocks, night lights, or street lamps outside, can suppress melatonin, the hormone that signals your body to sleep. That's why sleep researchers recommend blackout curtains or eye masks if you live in a bright neighborhood. And sound. You might not realize it, but your brain keeps listening while you sleep. That's why a barking dog, humming fridge, or even a ticking clock can pull you out of deep sleep stages without fully waking you up. You just feel groggy in the morning and don't know why. Using a white noise machine or soft fan can help mask those microsounds, creating a more stable sleep environment. We've covered a lot so far, from your daily routines to what your bedroom is doing behind your back. And we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll dive into some of the biggest myths older adults believe about sleep, including one that might actually be accelerating memory loss without you even realizing it. You'll also learn a few surprisingly easy ways to train your brain to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, without relying on pills. Let's keep going. Now, one of the biggest myths you've probably heard, or even believed for years, is that waking up in the middle of the night is just what happens after 60. Maybe you've told yourself, I'm just a light sleeper. Maybe you even think it's harmless. But waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night doesn't just make you tired. It disrupts the exact phases of sleep your brain needs to protect memory, reduce inflammation, and restore energy. And over time, those broken cycles can take a serious toll. Researchers at the University of California tracked over 500 adults in their 60s and 70s and found that those with fragmented sleep, meaning frequent awakenings, had a significantly higher risk of developing cognitive decline over the next 5 years. Not because of aging itself, but because of the lack of deep, uninterrupted sleep. So what's causing those wake-ups? For many older adults, it's not age. It's habits. Let's start with what you eat and drink before bed. You might think a nightcap, a little glass of wine, helps you relax. And yes, alcohol can make you drowsy. But here's what most people don't realize. Alcohol sedates you, it doesn't give you real sleep. It pushes you into lighter sleep stages and increases the chances you'll wake up in the second half of the night. And because your liver processes alcohol more slowly with age, that one glass at dinner could still be interfering with your sleep hours later. If you're serious about sleeping through the night, cut alcohol at least 3 to 4 hours before bed, or skip it altogether. You might be surprised how much deeper you sleep without it. Now let's talk about your bladder. No one wants to discuss this, but it matters. As you age, the hormone that tells your kidneys to slow down overnight starts to decline. That means more bathroom trips, and more sleep interruptions. But sometimes, it's not your bladder's fault. It's your evening routine. If you're drinking large amounts of liquid after dinner, tea, soup, water, you're filling the tank right before parking the car. Try this instead. Get most of your hydration done during the day, and taper off after 6 p.m. That one small change alone could cut your nighttime wake-ups in half. Another overlooked trigger? Blue light. That glow from your phone, tablet, or TV is telling your brain it's still daytime. The blue wavelength in LED screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Harvard researchers found that just 2 hours of screen time before bed could delay melatonin release by over 90 minutes. That means your body's still running on daytime mode even when you're lying in bed, eyes closed, wondering why you're not asleep. The fix is simple. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed. If you must use them, wear blue light blocking glasses or turn on night mode. But even better, replace screens with something analog. A book, a puzzle, or just sitting quietly and stretching can do more for your sleep than any TV show ever could. And speaking of stretching, let's not forget your body. Sleep isn't just about what's going on in your brain. It's physical. If your muscles are tight, your joints ache, or your body hasn't moved much all day, your nervous system doesn't fully relax at night. That's why gentle evening movement, a short walk, some light yoga, even 5 minutes of stretching, can signal your body that it's safe to let go. You're not just helping your sleep. You're lowering cortisol, the stress hormone, which tends to rise with age and interferes with sleep depth. One simple trick? Try a warm foot soak or a hot shower before bed. When you step out of that warm water, your core body temperature drops, which mimics the natural drop your body uses to fall asleep. It's like flipping the switch. Now, I want to talk about something that's often ignored, your mental load. As you age, it's not just your body that keeps you up at night. It's your mind. The worry about health, about family, about money. These thoughts don't turn off just because it's dark outside. In fact, they tend to get louder when everything else is quiet. So what can you do? One proven technique is called cognitive offloading. It's as simple as writing things down. Keep a notepad by your bed. Before you lie down, jot down whatever's on your mind, your to-do list, your worries, even the things you're grateful for. Studies from Baylor University show that just 5 minutes of writing can reduce sleep onset time significantly. You're not solving everything. You're telling your brain, I've got this written down, I can deal with it tomorrow. That's often all it takes to let go enough to sleep. Another powerful tool? Breathing. Not just any breathing, deliberate, paced breathing. When you exhale longer than you inhale, you stimulate the vagus nerve, which tells your nervous system to shift out of fight or flight mode and into rest and digest. Try this. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do it 5 times. That's it. This simple pattern activates your body's built-in relaxation system. No pills. No devices. Just breath. Now let's talk about the bedroom again, for one final detail that makes a bigger difference than most people realize, your bed itself. If your mattress is more than 8 years old, or if you wake up with pain in your hips, back, or shoulders, your sleep surface might be the problem. As you age, your joints become more pressure sensitive, and a mattress that used to feel fine might now be too firm, or too soft. You don't need the most expensive mattress in the store. What you need is one that supports your spine while cushioning your pressure points. Medium firm is often the sweet spot for older adults, but it depends on your body. If you can't replace your mattress right away, try adding a high-density foam topper. It's a small investment that could change your entire night. And what about pillows? Your head isn't the only thing that needs support. A pillow between your knees if you sleep on your side, or under them if you sleep on your back, can keep your spine aligned and reduce pain that wakes you up. Now, you might be wondering, is it too late? If I've had poor sleep for years, can I still fix it? Yes. Absolutely. Your body is still capable of adapting. Neuroplasticity doesn't stop at 60. In fact, researchers have found that older adults often respond faster to sleep changes, because their need is more urgent, and their system's more sensitive. That means if you start today, by shifting your caffeine habits, getting morning light, being consistent with bedtime, and cutting late-night screen time, you could start feeling better in just a few nights. And here's the most important part. Good sleep isn't just about rest. It's about freedom. It's about waking up clear-headed, remembering names, enjoying your breakfast, laughing at jokes, staying focused on what matters. It's about feeling like yourself again. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you put up with when it's broken. It's a foundation, just like food, just like movement, just like love. So ask yourself tonight, what small shift can I make? What habit have I been ignoring? What would it feel like to actually sleep through the night and wake up refreshed? And once you try something, come back and let me know. Share what worked. Share what didn't. You never know who else might need to hear exactly what you discovered. If this video helped you think differently about sleep, consider subscribing, or send it to someone else who might need a gentle nudge toward better nights. And if you're curious about what kind of evening routines make the biggest difference, or how sleep affects things like memory, blood sugar, and even weight, check out the next video on our channel. Your next great night of sleep might just start there.